Welcome back to the Just for Clicks podcast. I'm your host, Forrest Whaley, and once again, I'm joined by my wife, Alyssa.
Hi, everyone.
So we're doing another podcast. It is the first week of November, right?
It's actually the second week of November.
Oh, shit. Time is speeding up.
It's November 14th right now.
We're closing in on this due date.
Yep.
Alyssa's pregnant, if you didn't know.
My due date is December 12th, so less than a month away.
So it's coming up. It's fast approaching. We're going to do a home birth. It's going to be gnarly.
Super gnarly.
There's going to be water and amniotic fluid, mucus, and whatever else. Maybe a little bit of poo.
Yeah, probably a little bit of poo.
So we're kind of getting ready to like splash guard our entire apartment.
Yeah, we bought some painter's tarps from Home Depot.
Yeah. We're gonna paint the walls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To cover things.
Yeah, so that's what we're gonna talk about in this podcast is Alyssa's experience being pregnant, because I've never been pregnant before, and I'm sure a lot of my listeners haven't. So it'd be good to get your perspective on things and kind of educate people out there about what it's like being pregnant, in this modern age.
Yes.
And kind of like how it's been for you and what your philosophy is on it. Now that we're approaching the birth, I think this is a good time to stop and reflect and see what it was like going through this thing. So yeah, we'll talk about that. We'll also get into the news real quick before that, and we'll read some emails after that. So we got a nice, robust podcast for you all tonight.
Robust. Mm-hmm. Strap in, everyone.
Okay, so first things first, we're going to go on Twitter. And you know how we do. We're going to read the news and kind of just get our quick, off-the-cuff reactions. Oh, yeah. There was like this guy on Twitter. His name's Kevin Perry. And I saw a tweet from him earlier that was like, I haven't left my house in 8 months. And I couldn't believe that.
Yeah.
I was like, is this guy being for real? Like, he hasn't left his house in 8 months? Because, some people take the pandemic more seriously than others. I'm kind of, in the middle ground. I wear a mask when I go out and do stuff, but I still, go on walks. I still, go to the park. I still, go grocery shopping. I'm not one of those people who's, getting their groceries delivered and then, wiping them down like a crazy person, outside their front door. I know people who, don't wear masks at all and don't believe in it and stuff. And then I know people who take it really, really seriously. But, just to not leave your house for 8 months, that's just, insane, I feel like.
Yeah.
It's not good for your mental health.
Mm-hmm.
And then Zach, he hit me up and he's like, apart from groceries and other necessities, I haven't left my apartment for a significant amount of time since March. Well, you should definitely go outside, Zach. I go on runs. I go to the park. We go on walks.
Yeah, fresh air and sunshine is really good for your immune system as well.
Yeah, so I've got to hit Zach up and I've got to talk to him because a lot of people just feel like, not a lot of people, but some people just take this pandemic to an extreme level to where they literally don't leave their homes. So yeah, I would be interested in hearing your guys' philosophies on this and how you've been approaching the pandemic. Obviously you should wear a mask. I'm here endorsing that, until this thing is under control, until they tell us that it's chill to not wear a mask. But I mean, you should definitely get outside. And I feel like if you're out in a park and there's no one around you, I think it's okay to take your mask down and breathe some fresh air.
Yeah,
personally.
As long as there's some distance between you and other people, strangers there, taking down your mask is okay if you're outside.
Yeah, totally. But yeah, some people have different philosophies. So I would like to get the listeners' perspective on that, because I think it's an interesting topic. All right, let's see. Rest in peace, Drake. No, Drake is not dead. Okay, good, I guess. The new Call of Duty is here. Okay, sweet. Yeah, I just downloaded the new Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. I want to spend a little bit of time playing the campaign and experiencing that, because I always enjoy the campaigns in the Call of Duty games. Those are generally my favorite part of the games. They're kind of playing a Michael Bay movie, so I really enjoy it. So looking forward to that. Hashtag Antifa terrorists. I don't really care about this. The most unusual U.S. presidential pets. All right. That's it for the news. We're done with this section of the podcast. Mm-hmm. All right. Good stuff, though. All right. Let's move into the pregnancy topic, and we can talk about how things have been for you, babe.
Cool.
Yeah. So why don't you go ahead and just take over here for a little bit.
So I guess I'll start from the beginning with the first trimester. First of all, I'll say that I'm really lucky and my pregnancy has been extraordinarily smooth And I would even say easy in comparison to a lot of other women. So, every woman's different. So keep that in mind as I talk about this. But I wanted to start with the first trimester, not only because it's, the beginning of pregnancy, but it was my least favorite part of being pregnant was the first trimester. Well, first and foremost, you can't really tell anyone that you're pregnant the first trimester. I mean, I guess you could, but when you're in your first trimester, it's just like a fact of life. It's a reality that you have a high chance of miscarriage in the first trimester. So for me, I was trying not to get my hopes super high or a lot during the first trimester. I was keeping it a secret from my family because I didn't want them to be super heartbroken if I had a miscarriage or something. And yeah, you don't know, there's just a lot of unknowns in the first trimester. You don't know the gender, which is sad.
Yeah.
That was really exciting. We were like dying to know if it was a boy or a girl. And then there are just, a lot of diseases that can occur in babies while they're in the womb that you don't really know about. You can't test for until about like 20 weeks or so. So there's just a lot of unknowns. So I would say that is like a big part of why the first trimester was my least favorite. And then also just like as far as what's going on in your body goes, I was really nauseous to the point where like I couldn't look at pictures of food. I would be like scrolling on Instagram or on Pinterest and see food and like need to go throw up. So thankfully that only lasted a couple of weeks. That wasn't forever. Oh yeah, you're also moody. I was really moody. I was in a mood a lot of my first trimester.
I was really moody too. I feel like a lot of that has to do with the fact that we stopped smoking weed.
Yeah.
Because we were both habitual stoneheads before this. Mm-hmm. And once we learned that you were pregnant, we both just quit cold turkey.
Yeah.
So making that transition was a little bit rough for us emotionally and physically. Mm-hmm. But once we got past that, I think things got better. So I think it definitely was part of the pregnancy, but it was also like part of just like quitting weed.
Yeah, totally.
Because we're used to like having that like crutch to like fall back on. Mm-hmm. Weed and alcohol.
Yeah, exactly. We both quit. We were both just completely sober. When I found out I was pregnant, I was 6 weeks. From that point onward, we were just like stone cold sober. And yeah, that was a lot. For the first like 2 weeks of that, it was really hard because exactly what Forrest was saying. I was a huge stonehead. I smoked every single day. So not doing that.
We used to face like 3, 4, 5 blunts a day.
Yeah.
3 was like a light day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some tips, I guess, for your first trimester for like food aversion or nausea. Remember to bring grocery bags with you everywhere because you may need to just throw up, and you might not be in a situation where you can have access to a bathroom or a trash can or something. So always bring grocery bags, like plastic throwaway grocery bags.
Yeah, you don't want to throw up in a public stall either. That sounds horrible.
Yeah.
Have like public dirty like shit water splash back on you.
Yeah. So yeah, you're so right. So yeah, definitely bring grocery bags with you. That was such a lifesaver for me. I definitely threw up in a grocery bag a handful of times. And then also hard candy helps, which is odd. Like you wouldn't think that, but sucking on like a Jolly Rancher or any type of hard candy is really helpful for nausea. I don't know why. Yeah, so first trimester was my least favorite, but it gets better. It's all uphill from there, I would definitely say. Oh yeah, I guess one more thing I would say about the first trimester is that I was exhausted, like so tired all the time. If you know someone who's pregnant in their first trimester and you think that, like they're being dramatic, like they just found out they're pregnant and they're already acting like this, like everything's already super hard for them. Like just know that like it's because the first trimester, like so much is going on in your body. The first trimester is the biggest trimester for growth in the baby and development. They're developing all their brain tissue, their hearts, their lungs, their all their internal organs. So it's like a huge time for baby growth and development. So all of the mom's energy is being put into that. So, please be nice to women, especially in their first trimester. I mean, just be nice to pregnant women, but, give women in their first trimester like a break, because they may not look pregnant, but they definitely feel pregnant.
It's always crazy to me when people don't know they're pregnant until like halfway through.
Yeah.
Because like, how do they not feel it or recognize it? I feel like it's so obvious.
Yeah, right?
Yeah. I'm glad that our situation wasn't like that.
Yeah, our situation, we found out pretty early. So yeah, moving on to second trimester, you start showing, your belly starts to grow, you start looking a little bit pregnant. I feel like I didn't look that pregnant for a while. It took me a while. It's also my first pregnancy. I heard that with your second, third, fourth pregnancy, you'll start showing earlier. Yeah, I didn't really start showing until maybe like the middle of my second trimester.
Like late second trimester is when I would say you started to actually be visibly pregnant.
Yeah, like not just like pudgy.
Yeah, because before, it kind of just looked like you had a gut for like a long time.
Yeah.
But then like beginning of the third trimester is when you could really be like, okay, yeah, there's definitely a baby in there.
Yeah. And then you find out the gender of the baby if you so wish to do that, which is amazing. It really solidifies in your mind that there's like a person growing in you. You know what I mean? Because before we knew the gender, it was kind of just like, oh yeah, like I have a baby. I don't know. It just didn't really feel like, oh wow, this is a person. Like this is going to grow into a whole grown-ass human being. You know what I mean? Because it's just kind of like, before you know the gender, it's kind of elusive. Like it doesn't really feel like a person yet. So that's really fun. And then you can start calling the baby he or she. That also humanizes the baby. And then if you have names picked, you can start calling the baby by their name, because we had our names picked before we knew the gender, but we were kind of just going back and forth using the girl name and the boy name. So once we found out that it was a girl, we started just calling her like Luna all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, you feel way more connected to your baby. You can actually start thinking about like the future with your baby and thinking about the clothes and outfits and things you want to do.
Yeah, it's really important to like manifest good positive thoughts and visualize your future. Mm-hmm. I find that really helps me just throughout my whole life, is just like focusing on like a goal and then like imagining that in my mind, and then more often than not it'll actually come true because you've focused on it so much, you've put so much mental energy towards it, that subconsciously that kind of programs your brain to get you the results that you desire. Mm-hmm. So yes, I think it's important to like really name your kid and think of them as like a boy or a girl or whatever, and like kind of visualize what that could be. Obviously you should leave some room for interpretation, like it's not going to be exactly how you picture it, but to kind of project that energy out into the world, I think is really good and positive, and helps create a good environment for the baby when they do arrive.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, and then also in your second trimester, your risk for miscarriage goes down. It's like 1%, like it's basically non-existent, so you're pretty safe. You can start telling people. That
was a lot of fun telling everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have like good memories from telling each person, that I love and care about, like when I told my parents, when I told Mason and Mackenzie, when we told your dad. It was really funny.
I know, my dad's face. I will never forget my dad's face when we told him. He was so, like, stoked.
Yeah, everyone's been really supportive, which has been great. We've been really lucky with our support system.
Yeah, totally. And then, the best part, in my opinion, is for the second trimester is that you start feeling the baby move inside you. I started feeling her move around 17 or 18 weeks, which is really early. Some women don't feel their babies move until like 24 weeks, but Luna decided to make herself known in there around like 18 weeks.
She's always been really strong and really powerful. Like, you can tell she's got a lot of energy in there because she moves around a lot. She kicks really hard. And I can hear her heartbeat, too. And our midwife said that's because Alyssa was already so thin. She said with, like, heavier girls, it's sometimes harder and more difficult to hear the heartbeat. But Luna's also just got, like, a strong heart. So, those two things combined, you can really just press your head to her stomach and actually hear your baby's heart, which is really cool. I wasn't expecting to be able to do that. Like, I just assumed that you would have to use medical equipment, like a stethoscope or something, every time to hear it. But you can hear it whenever you want.
Yeah,
I mean, you can't hear it because you're the mom, but I can hear it whenever I want. So that's been cool.
Yeah, I know. I like having Forrest, like, talk to her and, like, hear her heartbeat for me, because I feel like I'm kind of so far away from my stomach, like, my head, like, my face. So I kind of feel like she can't hear me. But, yeah, I like that Forrest can talk to her and, you know, relay messages for me. So, yeah, when I first felt her move, I was kind of confused. I was like, what is this? I've never felt this before. It kind of feels like big bubbles, like, popping in your belly. That's what it felt like for me. Like, I don't know, like, I was, like, sitting there. I was like, what is this? And then it dawned on me. I'm like, oh my God, am I feeling her move? And yeah, it pretty much was, because I kept feeling that. And then the movement just got bigger and stronger. And
that's so cool.
Yeah, it gets to the point where you can tell, like, oh, she just, like, kicked me right there. Like, now she's so big, she's, like, here. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
She's just, like, she's a full-grown baby inside me right now. Yeah, it kind of just feels like she's, like, here, like, present. She's just, like, tucked away, like, in my kangaroo pouch or something. Like, that's what it feels like right now.
Right.
Because you can see her move too, like as she moves to, like, one side of my belly and, like, moves back. It's really incredible. Oh yeah, so second trimester, your appetite is back. I wasn't nauseous to food anymore. I wasn't sick, and I had energy again. And I felt like a lot more myself during the second trimester. So that's why I say it's all uphill. You'll feel a lot better. If you're in your first trimester and you're, like, hating life, please don't worry. It's just the first 3 months. And then it improves. Your situation will get better.
Not for everyone.
Well, not for everyone, but for most people.
Yeah. Some people just have it rough the whole time.
I know. I feel so bad for those people. I was hungry all the time my second trimester and most of my third trimester. Right now, I feel like my appetite is pretty much how it was before I got pregnant, maybe a little bit more, but I'm not, like, ravenously hungry anymore, and I think it's because she's so big that she's kind of pressing on my stomach and making my stomach smaller. I think that's the idea.
Oh, is that what Davi said?
Yeah.
Huh.
So my stomach isn't as big, so I get full really fast again.
Nice.
So that's been nice. But yeah, you'll probably be hungry all the time if you're in your second trimester or the beginning of your third.
It's just important to eat something every 2 hours.
Yeah.
To, like, balance yourself out while you're pregnant.
Mm-hmm.
That's at least what our midwife told us. And our midwife's, like, I really trust her. You know, I take her word on everything she says because she's delivered, like, 1,500 babies or something, which is, like, an insane number. And she just has, like, that mental awareness that you only see in, like, soldiers, like people who fight in wars. Like, they're just kind of, like, really battle hardened. Yeah,
she's really great. I'm really glad that we found her. So yeah, third trimester, your baby is, like I said, like, they're a whole baby in there. They really just start to feel like they're here, but they're not, you know, because they're inside you, but they're so big, like, it's undeniable that there's, like, a human inside you. It's crazy.
Yeah.
And then moves all day long. I have to pee all the time. Sometimes I'll, like, just pee, and then I'll feel her kick my bladder or something, like, make a sudden movement, and then I'll be like, oh, I have to go to the bathroom again. Some days I feel extremely heavy and, like, oh, like, I'm carrying around a lot of weight, but then other days I feel like I'll get used to that and then feel more normal. Oh yeah, stairs are hard. Walking upstairs, just getting up from, like, a comfortable position if you're, like, laying down is really hard. I'm only really comfortable if I'm laying on my side with my pregnancy pillow. Also, everyone should just buy a pregnancy pillow, even if you're not pregnant or planning to be pregnant. I think everyone will just sleep way better if you have a pregnancy pillow.
Yeah, they're pretty cool.
You can buy them on Amazon for, like, $40. Super cozy.
Also, you should probably buy a fan, too.
Yes. Oh, I totally didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
I've been hot as fuck, like, sweating my ass off all the time.
It'll be, like, 68 in our apartment, and I'll be freezing. Like, my extremity's about to snap off. And Alyssa will be like, it's warm in here. can I make it colder? And I'm like, oh my God. Okay. Like, sure, let me go put on my winter coat.
Yeah, pregnant women have lots of blood in their body. For some reason, like, your blood vessels just, like, expand and you just have all this blood in your body. I don't know exactly all the science behind it. And then also just the fact that you're carrying around a baby and a bunch of goo in your belly all the time.
I actually put, like, a pillow up in my shirt one of these days. And I just, like, went about my business with this big pillow, like, pressed up against my stomach for, like, the whole day. Just to kind of simulate what it's like to be pregnant. It wasn't the same amount of weight, obviously. But it made me, like, way warmer just doing that.
Yeah.
So I can only imagine, like, what, like, having a whole baby inside of you would do to, like, for your warmth levels.
Yeah.
You know, so I totally believe it. You know, I totally am supportive of it. But, yeah, that's something I wasn't expecting.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting that at all either. Forrest bought me a fan, which is really nice because I need it.
We move it from room to room, wherever she is.
Yeah, like, it feels amazing. It's November right now. I thought that I would be more comfortable once it got cooler, but that's not the case. Like, I'm still warm all the time. Because I was kind of thinking, like, oh, like, it sucks to be pregnant, like, in the summertime during, like, July and August. But then, yeah, like, it still doesn't feel any better in November.
She's, like, super warm, too. Like, I'll be cold and I'll, like, cuddle her more because I'll bring her over to me and, like, use her for her warmth because I'm just so freezing. And I can notice that she's, like, noticeably warmer, you know? Like, she's warmer than she used to be. And she's always been pretty warm. Your heart also beats, like, pretty fast. So I feel like you have, like, just, like, a lot of blood circulating through your system.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. You're just a cozy person.
Yeah, thank you. You're cozy, too. Oh, yeah, I can't really lay on my back or be in a position where I'm, like, sitting on a couch for a very long time. Just because of the weight of the baby, like, on my spine. Like, you know, like, there's just certain things that you don't really think about, I feel like, unless you are pregnant. And then also I always kind of forget, like, how big my belly is sometimes, and, like, I'll be, like, walking or, like, trying to do something or think I can squeeze past something, and it's like, oh no, I can't. I have a whole human inside me.
Yeah, your belly, like, extends out past your, like, face.
Yeah
You're just not used to that.
Yeah. So adjusting to stuff like that has been fun, or it's been funny, like, situations like that. Sometimes I'll, like, leak breast milk, and so I've been kind of conscious and trying to wear, like, darker shirts, like black shirts, just to, like, you know, in case I start leaking in public, I don't want to, like, I'll just, like, look wet, which is kind of gross. And then, oh yeah, baby shopping has just been so much fun. Like, shopping for baby clothes, just getting her stuff, just, like, imagining her in, like, these cute little outfits. There's some things that we still have to buy, like, but they're kind of more just for, like, me. But yeah, just shopping for baby stuff has been really fun.
Our baby shower was lit.
Our baby shower was lit. If you're having a baby and you're making a registry for your baby shower, we recommend Bye Bye Baby. It's so much fun. Like, there's, like, an app, and you can go to Bye Bye Baby, the store, and just scan things for your registry, and it's basically just, like, shopping for other people to buy you things.
Yeah, what was that the other day? Did one of my fans in the stream said that they, like, found our baby registry or something?
Yeah, that's kind of weird.
How did they find it?
I don't know.
Did they buy anything from it?
I don't know. We haven't gotten anything from, like, a fan. I don't think so.
That would be lit, honestly. But I think we pretty much have everything we need, right?
Yeah.
Is there anything on there that we need still?
I don't know.
Probably. There's probably something.
Yeah.
We have a huge pile in the corner of just baby stuff. Mm-hmm. It's like 6 feet tall, like 5 feet wide. Just like a stack of baby items.
Yeah.
Propped up by the crib, which is in the center.
Yeah. It started out with just putting stuff inside the crib.
And now it's like, stuff going on top of it on the sides. Yeah, thankfully everyone's been really helpful. Yeah, we got a lot of good stuff from Pete. Mm-hmm. And we got a lot of good stuff from your dad. He's been super helpful. And we got a lot of baby clothes from people in St. Louis and stuff, so it's been really awesome.
Everyone's really excited for her. Everyone's really supportive to us, so yeah, it's been really great. So yeah, I would say my favorite trimester I like being in this third trimester just because it's getting closer and closer to her being born, and it is fun being, like, super pregnant looking. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, this is kind of what I was waiting for. Like, to, like, be, like, look really pregnant.
Yeah, you look really cute as a pregnant lady.
What's been, what was your favorite part of, like, this pregnancy? Or, like, what are you most excited for Luna?
Well, I'm most excited for Luna to experience the world for the first time. You know, she's in there nice and cozy and snugged away right now, but pretty soon she'll be out and experiencing things, and I'm just, like, excited to give her, like, little baby hugs and make her laugh and try to, like, entertain her and stuff and try to just make her happy. You know, just take care of her, you know, like, do the things that we need to do to take care of her to make her happy. My favorite experience so far has just been, like, listening to her or, like, feeling her kick. You know, like, especially, like, when you're snuggling me, like, in bed, like, I can feel her kick my back. And that's just really nice to know that she's in there and she's, like, between us, you know? Mm-hmm. Yeah, you know, I think for the first year or so, she's not going to have much personality, you know? She's just going to kind of be a baby.
Yeah.
But it'll be cool once she's older and she starts, like, exhibiting more of a personal side and kind of asking questions. I'm really looking forward to that. Mm-hmm. You know, when she starts, like, using her brain and thinking of concepts on her own, that'll be really exciting.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, I guess one thing that recently happened in my 3rd trimester is I've been getting these crazy leg cramps in my sleep.
Yeah, those are crazy.
They're horrendous. I feel like it's, like, honestly the worst part about being pregnant, or, like, the most painful part about being pregnant so far has been these leg cramps. My back hurts a lot too, which sucks, but there's, like, yoga poses you can do for that. But yeah, these leg cramps, it's kind of just like, you just have to wait for them to go away. Like, there's nothing you can really do. But my midwife told me I can take these calcium magnesium supplements, and I have been, but then I had some crazy leg cramps last night, so she told me to, like, up my dosage on those, so I'm gonna do that. Hopefully they won't come again, but I guess basically Luna is just sucking up all my calcium.
It's like a little xenomorph in there.
So she's having a growth spurt, like, right now, like, while I was sleeping, and she just, like, needed all that extra calcium. So, that's, you know, crazy. It's okay. She can have all my calcium. I'll just have to take some more. It's fine.
Yeah. What else? You got anything else? Did you miss anything? Would you recommend?
Recommend what? Being pregnant?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Everything is worth it. Any complaints that you hear, like, pregnant women give you, like, just know that they're not, like, trying to discourage you from being pregnant. They're just, like, venting, because it's 100% worth it. I'm, like, really excited to be a mom.
What's your favorite part? What are you looking forward to? I'm
looking forward to the birth. I'm really excited to give birth. I know that kind of sounds crazy, but I feel like I'm probably underestimating how hard it's going to be. Because in my head, I'm just like, oh my gosh, like, yeah, it's going to be painful, but it's going to be just, like, this amazing, like, spiritual experience.
It's going to be a huge event.
Yeah, huge event.
It's like a milestone in your life.
Yeah, I'm trying to keep, like, a really positive attitude about it, because we are doing a home birth. I'm doing it, my plan is to do it completely naturally, with just my midwife's help and guidance in case there's, like, a medical problem or emergency or something. We do have a backup doctor to go to if we need to, and, you know, there's a hospital nearby if there's an extreme emergency or something, but that's probably not gonna happen. There's a low risk of that happening because I've been really healthy this whole time. Luna has been really healthy this whole time. I'm only 20, so that gives me an advantage. Being, like, I think 18 to, like, 30 is the best time to give birth because your body is just, this is, like, its best childbearing years.
Yeah.
You're the most fertile during those times, and your body is just ready to give birth during those times. So, yeah, I'm, like, perfect age for this. Wait, what was the question? Oh, yeah. Do I recommend?
Yeah, do you recommend it?
Yes.
Nice.
Everyone should have a baby.
Yeah. If you can.
If you can't have a baby, you should.
Yeah, it's just like one of those things that we're supposed to do as people.
Yeah.
We're supposed to have babies. That's one of our purposes in life.
I would even argue that, you know, animals, it's kind of like everything's main purpose and drive is to reproduce.
Yeah.
Like plants, like their whole thing is to reproduce. Every function that living creatures have is to reproduce.
I'd say, like, the two highest things we can do in this life is to create life and spread love.
Yeah.
That's the most important thing to do in this world. So that's what you're doing right now, and you're fulfilling your destiny. So I think it's really noble, and it's really fun. It's really meaningful in a deep way that can't be matched by any other thing.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, I mean, everything else just seems so inconsequential when compared to the birth of a baby.
Mm-hmm.
Babies are just incredible and cute and so full of potential. As you get older, you start to realize your babies are going to take your place in the world, and it's really cool to be a part of that and to be able to raise a kid. I'm just really looking forward to the whole experience of being a dad. I feel like I've been in this part of my life for a long time, this single individual, and now I feel like I've started a family and I'm like this new person. It's the same person, but it's just like this new, like, grown-up version of me, and I really like it. I think I'll probably have that same feeling like once I enter my like senior years, you know, where like I've completed my life and now I can just relax. And enjoy things. But like right now, like, I'm entering that middle stage of my life. Yeah, and Luna's life is just beginning, so it's just like this really neat cycle. Sun rising and sun setting is just really cool to be like tethered to that and to be a part of this whole like experience that we're all going through.
Yeah, totally.
Does that make any sense?
Yeah. I think about, we were talking about this today, how we see people, like, we'll be at the mall or Target or something,
Yeah.
and just kind of think of everyone, like, for me, ever since I got pregnant, I just kind of see everyone as, like, oh, like, they were once in their mom's belly, like, they were babies once, like, you know, I don't know, and it's just, like, incredible, like, if you think about it. Because I don't know, I feel like when I was younger, before I got pregnant, I didn't really think about that.
Yeah, everyone was a baby.
Yeah.
Yeah, everyone was in their mom's stomach. Everyone had a stroller or something they were in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and now they're all adults. They're all worked out, and they can live their lives now. It's pretty incredible.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to moms.
Yeah, moms are awesome.
They're so cool. I feel like they don't get enough credit.
Yeah.
Moms need more credit because they do a fuckload.
Yeah, like, your parents, you know, they did that. They made a whole person.
Yeah,
they made you.
good for them. It's just so, like, special. Like,
it's the height of, like, nature, you
Yeah.
know, to create a person. It's like your evolutionary purpose. Like,
Right.
obviously you have other purposes on Earth other than just, like, reproducing, but you're, you know, evolutionarily, like, scientifically, like, that's your purpose, you know?
yeah, definitely.
I think that's really cool.
Yeah, I want to have a big family too. I don't want it to just be Luna. You know, I want it to be like multiple kids. So get ready, babe.
I know. That was one of my favorite things that really attracted me to Forrest when we first met, before we started dating, is that he told me that he wanted to have lots of kids.
Lots of.
And I was like, oh my god, me too.
I don't want to put all our eggs in one basket.
Yeah.
Like, I want Luna to succeed and do everything and be her own unique person, but I don't want to focus just on her and have like one kid. Like, people who have one kid, it's like, that's gotta be stressful because like everything is going into that one kid. All your hopes, all your dreams, all your ambitions.
They're kind of like obsessed with that one kid.
They're kind of obsessed in a weird way with that one kid. So like if that kid ends up fucking up or something, it's just gonna be like way more dramatic than if you had like 5 kids or whatever.
Yeah.
And you could like experience the heights and lows with all 5 of them, and instead of just like solely focusing on the one. I feel like that might put too much pressure on a single child.
Yeah, totally. I was my dad's only, like, biological child. He has my sister who's his stepdaughter, and, you know, they're really close too.
Yeah.
But I was my dad's only biological kid, and when I moved to St. Louis, it was just, like, devastating to him. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? That I moved, how far away was St. Louis? Like
1,500 miles?
Yeah.
1,800 miles? Something like that.
like all those miles away. It was just, like, so, like, he was happy for me that I had found love and that, you know, I was living my life and everything, but he was also just, like, devastated. So I kind of feel like if he had more than just me,
Yeah.
if he had, like, 2 or 3 other kids who were, like, around my age, because my sister's a lot older than me, too, like, around him, to surround him, like, it wouldn't have been that devastating when I left.
Right. Yeah, totally.
Like, it's just like, oh, one of my kids is moving, instead of just like, oh, my only kid is moving.
Hopefully we don't get all girls, too. Like, I want some boys thrown in the mix as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. We talked to a guy today who had 3 boys, and his wife said she was, like, pretty much done having kids. And I'm like, damn. It would kind of just suck to have, like, all 3 of, like, one thing.
We'll just keep having them until we have a boy.
Yeah. So what if I shoot all girls?
We have, like, 6 girls. We're, like, gonna try again.
We've been watching this show called Outdaughtered. Mm-hmm. It's a show, I think it's on, like, TLC or something. Mm-hmm. And it's about this couple. They had 1 girl, and then they had quintuplets.
Yeah.
So they have 6 daughters.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty insane. So yeah, let's try not to emulate that. Okay, sweet. That sounds good. Thanks, babe. That was really insightful.
Oh, yeah. Of course.
Yeah, that was really great. I think it's really cool to have this podcast, not only to like have it for people to listen to, but also for us to listen to in the future and to like have our experience documented, you know, how we were feeling in this time in our lives. Because I always look back and I think like times previous in my life, and I'm like, it would have been cool if I could go back, if I had more photos from that time, or if I had this podcast back then, I could go back, 6 years and see like what it was like back in 2014 or whatever. Just I think it's cool to have this podcast for the listeners and for ourselves, and maybe Luna will listen to this one day.
Yeah, that'd be crazy.
Yeah, and she'll hear her mom talk about what it was like to have her in your stomach.
Luna, if you're listening to this, I love you, and I'm so excited that you're going to be here so soon.
I love you too. All right, let's see. I think we can move into our emails now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Emails.
We got 3 emails for you guys. 3 questions. The first one is from Lego Builder, and he says, "Please help me. Hi, Just for Clicks. I've been very distressed and anxious. Everything is out of my control, and I hate that. I've been doing lots of avoiding, like YouTubing all day, because life is just too hard. Been struggling to do stuff and go out. I just can't deal with things going wrong. Worse more, my control issues impacts my bathroom habits, and I get very constipated, which is embarrassing. And even that causes more anxiety and resistance to go and do things. How do I be okay with not having control over life and deal with my anxiety? If you answer this, thank you, Harry." Sweet. Well, Harry, thanks for writing in. I really appreciate it. It's good to recognize these issues so that you can move on and address them, because life is going to always throw you issues and there's always going to be problems that you have to deal with. But the important part is to address them, to recognize them, and to address them. So it looks like you have a few different things going on here. You have this feeling of a lack of control, and that is true. I mean, and that's something that you're never going to change. I think there's this illusion that we put up that we have control over things or our surroundings when we really don't. There's so much in life that is just out of our control. 99% of things in your life are going to be completely out of your control. Like where you were born, what ethnicity you are, what creed your family is, your health, the environment around you. It's really not something that you can control. And if you try to, or if you get obsessed with being in control of what you can control, then I think that's going to lead to an unhappy life. So it's just important to recognize that you have very little control, and the things that you do have control over, try not to get too obsessive about them, because that's how people become like OCD and they're just become nervous wrecks. And it's just important to try to relax. If you can do something that relaxes you, I always say, exercise, go on runs, lift weights, do something that is able to make your body burn off this extra energy, this extra steam. You can try smoking weed, but honestly, that's almost like a crutch. Like in a lot of ways, you have to figure out to be okay with yourself without any kind of like extra stimulants or drugs or prescription meds. I see a lot of people going on prescription meds recently, with the pandemic and everything. I think it's just a really bad idea. I think prescription meds should really only be used in very extreme cases. Even though what you're going through might feel extreme, you have to kind of take a step back and try to appreciate and be grateful for the things in your life. I think a part of being an adult and a part of being a happy person is recognizing the things that you have instead of lingering on the things that you don't have. So what would you say, hun? Would you add anything to that?
Yeah, I agree with you, babe. And also, yes, definitely stay away from pharmaceutical drugs to help with your anxiety. I recommended this on the podcast before, but reishi mushroom powder, pick some up at Whole Foods. I think it'll really help you, because I also struggle with anxiety and like OCD and like trying to be in control of things all the time. And I really think this like reishi mushroom powder just kind of really puts it in perspective. Yeah. That makes you, just makes you feel more chill and not always trying to control everything. One other thing I would recommend is just something that came to mind while I was thinking about your email is you should read 12 Rules for Life by Jordan Peterson, especially in his first chapter of that book. I just think it would be really helpful. I think you should read that book anyway. Just everyone should read that book, 12 Rules for Life by Jordan Peterson. Just a lot of different ideas and concepts that are really helpful for today's people, for everyone.
Yeah, I'll put a link to that in the description, and also a link to that reishi mushroom powder. I think, yeah, meditating on these thoughts and confronting them with your own philosophy can be really helpful. And if you need to read another person's book to kind of get inspired and have a jumping off point for creating your own philosophy, I really recommend that. And that could even be like the Bible or whatever. Like, as long as it's something that you can use to form your own philosophy, I think it's really important to create a philosophy for yourself. And books that other people have written, even if I don't necessarily believe every single thing in there, I think you can glean some really positive things from those books and apply them to your own situation.
You say you're YouTubing all the time. Even if you don't necessarily want to read the book 12 Rules for Life, Jordan Peterson puts like all of his lectures on YouTube.
Yeah, he's a really good speaker.
Yeah, I think he's done a few TED Talks. He definitely does a lot of interviews. He has lots of lectures from when he was teaching at the University of Toronto. I don't know why, I just really like his stuff, and after I listen to him or read a chapter from his book or even just see a post that he made on Instagram, I kind of feel like inspired to do something productively. And I feel like, I have a better outlook, like a better perspective on life.
Yeah, move towards solving those issues. Try to not avoid them. Once you start addressing these things and once you start making progress, it'll feel really good and you'll get hooked on that. All right, thanks for writing in, Harry. Appreciate that. And good luck to you. All right, next email. It says, long ass email.
Damn.
It's not that long. It's somewhat long. I've gotten longer ones though. Hey Forrest, since you are in need of more emails, I am, guys. Guys, I have a shortage of emails, okay? I want some juicy ones. Hit me up. justforclickspod@gmail.com. There's a link in the description. Back to the email. Advice. I'm 16 and I've had 2 main friends ever since 4th grade. Others have come and gone, but I really haven't had enough in common with other people to really establish a connection. In fact, it's quite miraculous how I've been able to keep my main friends as long as I have, since we also don't have much in common. I think our personalities and humor have been what has held us together this long, but recently our differences have really been highlighted. Even before this COVID thing, one of my friends, friend A, got a job and started to be a real downer. When they weren't complaining about their job or schoolwork, they were sleeping. Despite this, we still somehow found time every once in a while to play games over Discord and such, so things weren't too bad. I started to see friend A in less of my classes, and then the same with friend B, and I don't currently have any classes with either of them. Friend A wants to graduate a year early and get into the Air Force. Friend B doesn't seem to know what to do, and while I want to go into film, I'm taking my time with getting out of school. We've been drifting apart now to the point where I'm the only person posting and talking on our Discord. With the way our school is working right now, we are divided by last names, and surprise, surprise, they're both on the other side of the spectrum. I have to beg for them to try and talk to me. They wouldn't even really respond when I showed them some hentai I drew for a YouTuber, but that's besides the point. I can see us all slowly devolving back into the basket cases we really are. Without them there, I speak maybe 10 sentences in school at most. Through the pandemic, and where things were naturally going, I can see the end approaching. I would love to keep them around as friends, but I also have to let them go, of course, and I realize that. I just didn't think it would happen so soon and so slowly. We just barely started our 3rd year of high school. This has been eating away at me for years now, and it really makes me regret not putting in the effort to go over to their houses or see them at all outside of school. Now, though, I feel like I'm the only one trying to keep the trio together, despite not being able to do jack shit with the way the world is currently. What do you think I should do? Nice. Well-written email. Thank you for writing in. My advice for you is to try to find new friends. You don't want to chase these friends. You don't want to be pushy or come across as needy. And while it is sad, it's just a fact of life. Sometimes people grow up, especially when they're younger, you grow up and you drift apart, you have different interests. They may re-enter your life at a later stage. They may end up being more important to you down the road. But it seems like right now they got their own stuff going on. So you should really just focus on you and what you got going on and meeting new people. I know that's hard because of COVID and everything. But there's always ways to meet people, whether that be online or in a safe environment. You just have to find those types of situations where you can make friends that share the same energy and passion that you do, because that will inspire you to be the best version of yourself. Yeah, it is tough having friends drift apart, but it's important to diversify. You don't want to put all your eggs in one basket. I always say that. So you want to have lots of different irons in the fire. I've got so many friends at this point that I feel like, yeah, like I'm not like really a great friend to any of them because I just have so many that I'm kind of stretched too thin. It's a balancing act, with everything in life. You have to try to be a good friend and be a good person, but also take care of yourself as well. It's funny that you said you drew some hentai. Is hentai like strictly porn? Or can hentai be like anything? Like any kind of like style of drawing?
I thought hentai was just porn.
He said he drew some hentai for a YouTuber and he tried to show them, but they didn't really respond. Lame.
You drew some porn?
You sound like a good friend. Yeah, but keep your art going. Focus on that. Try to focus inwards. I know friends are important and everything, but you'll make more friends. These guys, they're not the end all be all. You have any advice for this guy?
I didn't really hear it.
Oh yeah, Alyssa was in the bathroom during your email. Sorry about that. But yeah, what do you think I should do? Yeah, I would just focus on yourself for right now. This pandemic is a good time to reflect and to hone your own abilities. But also make sure you're getting outside, getting some fresh air. That's important too. All right, last email. It says, friend issues. Hey Forrest, I would like to remain anonymous for this email. Thanks. I am a 17-year-old in my second last year of high school and recently have been having some problems with a good friend of mine. You see, not less than a couple days ago, this really hot girl confessed feelings for me. Now, usually that would be an awesome thing, but the thing is my friend has been trying to get the guts to ask this girl out. Now, let me emphasize how I define best friends. We went to the same school since the first grade and have been the life of every party event. We both make each other better and treat each other like brothers. But ever since I found out that this girl liked me, I may have caught on some feelings as well. Now this terrifies me because my buddy just got out of a relationship where the girl cheated on him. So he has some trust issues, so I'm worried that if I make a move on this girl that he likes, it may jeopardize our friendship. Also, for the past couple of weeks, I have been helping him look good in front of this girl. I'm honestly stressed and really tired of 2020, even though it wasn't that bad to be honest. Also, congrats on the baby, and best wishes to you and Alyssa. Nice. Thanks so much for writing in. Yeah, that's an issue. That's something I've never had to deal with.
I've been in similar situations where I would like a guy and then my friend would be like, oh, I like him too. And then I always back off. But I honestly, looking back on it, you should just, if she literally already confessed feelings for you, I know it sucks and you're gonna feel like you're betraying your friend or whatever, but it's kind of just he can't just call dibs basically on this girl.
Especially if she's already got feelings for you.
Yeah.
It's not like she's gonna be able to magically shift her feelings over to your best friend.
Yeah.
She has feelings for you. So whether you get with her or not, I think your friend still has the same amount of chance with her, which is 0. Yeah. At this point.
Exactly.
She likes you.
If you like her back, if you think she's hot and, nice and girlfriend material or whatever, you're just going to break her heart for no reason.
Yeah, I think it's important in life to go with the natural wave of things. And it sounds like she was put in your life and you were put in hers to be together. Maybe not forever, maybe just for this year, or maybe this relationship will just be a jumping off point. But she likes you, you like her. Get together. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Don't try to apply too much logic to the situation.
Yeah.
She's in your life for a reason. I think you should go with your gut, follow your feelings. I know you have this friend and he's sensitive, but he's a big boy.
Yeah, exactly.
And he needs to be able to deal. I would say definitely talk with your friend and tell him your intentions.
Yeah, don't ask permission or anything.
Right.
Just be so here's the sitch. She confessed feelings for me and right. I honestly like her back, so I'm
gonna ask her out.
Or I'm gonna accept her initiation.
I'm not gay, so I'm into chicks and I find her attractive.
And I don't think this is done necessarily maliciously, but I think a lot of times when people tell their friends that they have feelings for someone that they both could be with or whatever, it's kind of calling dibs.
Yeah.
It's to kind of guilt the other person into not pursuing anything with that person.
And he may have some hard feelings about it, but if he takes it further than that, if he's hates you after this, that's just a big sign of immaturity.
Yeah.
Hopefully he doesn't do it like that. Obviously you're not gonna feel great if that happened to you, but if he takes it out on you in any kind of visibly negative way for an extended period of time, then that's his own fault.
Yeah.
He's allowed to, like, feel bad about it, but he's not allowed to be an asshole about it.
Yeah.
So hopefully he takes it all right. And yeah, you just got to do what you got to do. I mean, it's great that you guys are such good friends, and I know that relationship's important, but the relationship you have with women or your significant other is always going to supersede the relationships you have with your bros. That's going to be the main relationship in your life. You have to nurture and foster that. You know, maybe she won't be your wife or whatever, you know, obviously you're still super young, but the person you're dating is always going to be number one. And your friends come second to that.
In the past, when I've been in similar situations, I've always kind of regretted backing off. And then neither of us end up dating him. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, totally.
So it's kind of just like, because it's like he was interested in me, and then I am like, oh no, like I don't want to hurt my friend's feelings, and he like just dates someone, like a third person. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you gotta jump. You gotta jump on these opportunities while they're hot.
Yeah, exactly.
You can't let it simmer. Okay, guys, that'll do it for this episode of Just for Clicks. Make sure you subscribe. We got a new commentary track coming out on Wednesday. That'll be Spider-Man 2002 from Sam Raimi. Sean and I did this commentary, so look out for that. And yeah, join us here next week. If you have any questions or emails or kind of juicy hot takes, make sure to hit us up, justforclickspod@gmail.com. Send in your emails. I'd love to read them on the podcast.
Merry Christmas. Happy holidays.
Happy holidays, everyone. See you next week.